Hi there. Welcome to the beginning of 2019 and the middle of flu season. I'm your host, Mariana, and I own Windium Real Estate, which is a data research and client education driven full service real estate agency. And this is
I am Kyle Berquist. I am the branch manager for primary residential mortgage here in Seattle.
our goal today is to give you a quick market snapshot so you can make better decisions for you about purchasing now or later. And here we are here to help you with anything between.
Yeah,
Kyle, what's
absolutely.
going on?
All right, so here's what's going on. 2018, kind of a crazy year. If you've been following the media, reading the newspaper, you've heard that prices have declined in 2018, which we can see in the chart behind me. You can see from our peak, which we reached in about March, we are down 17-18% since then. However, year over year, we're actually still up in King County per the Northwest MLS. We're actually up 5.79%. So year over year, we're still trending higher, but since March, since the peak, we're down a little bit. With that said, since mid-November, since November 16th, median house price in Seattle is actually up about $25,000 from 725 to 749,500 or something like that. So I
Right.
guess technically
Heading
24,500.
up.
So yeah, it's starting to head up and change trajectory a little bit.
Prices have evened out and now it's going up.
Yeah, yeah. And so one of the reasons for that, it oftentimes happens this way in Seattle. You can see in 2016 prices rose starting in January. 2017 prices rose throughout the middle of winter, and then 2018 prices are starting to rise. Well, biggest reason for that, inventory goes away. There's no inventory in the winter. Sellers dictate the inventory. Obviously, they get to decide when they want to sell. Buyers will usually buy whenever the right house comes along, but if you're a seller and you have the opportunity to choose when you want to sell, you're probably, if your options are sell when it's sunny and the days are long and it's going to be a nice, enjoyable moving day, or as enjoyable as a moving day is, versus when it's rainy, cold, days are short. Oftentimes they choose to sell. They pick the former, right? Spring
So-
and summer. So
Right. So usually what I tell my sellers, if they want to sell like end of fall, is that why don't we just take some beautiful photos, sunny days? Why don't you fix up your place and then get ready for sale? So that way you do not feel like pressured, and we still figure out when to ride the wave. It's always supply and demand. Okay. So as we can tell, the prices have been going down, now they're evening up, and our inventory is going down. Okay, what else is there? What's going on with interest rates?
interest rates, let's see, let's go to the next slide here. Interest rates, they had a bad year in 2018. Let's be clear. We started the year with interest rates rising 0.5%, primarily due to tax reform. Interest rates really rise and fall based on two main factors. One is what is the projected inflation rate, and then what is going on in the stock markets. So what's bad for your 401k, usually good for interest rates, and vice versa. So we started the year with a bunch of tax reform, more money in more Americans' pockets, more money in corporate America's pockets. So if everyone has more money, people worry about inflation, because if you have more money, you usually spend more money. So interest rates rose about 0.5% in the first 2 months of the year. They continued to trend higher throughout the year, ultimately getting up to about 5.1% per bankrate.com in early November, which was the highest that we had seen interest rates in 7, 8 years, something like that. It's been a long, long time since we were above 5%. And that was because of trade wars and trade talk and what's going to happen with China and NAFTA. And if we have tariffs, then prices go higher because we have to pay the tariff. But then we ended the year kind of coming back down a little bit. It was a little nice. As a lender who talks about interest rates all the time to borrowers, I was like, oh, finally, news is getting better.
Where are we now?
So now interest rates have fallen about 0.5% since.
Fantastic.
In the last two months of the year. So still higher than when we started 2018, but definitely 0.5% lower than when we, at our peak in 2018.
Okay, so basically let's recap it. We still have a high enough inventory. The prices has gone down, but they start to come up, and the interest rates are lower than they were for a little bit. So these look really good. let's look at what other economic factor and human factor is there to make a decision like this. One of the things I have to remind you guys is that the world population is growing like crazy. So we are going up. There are more people around the world, and so many of them want to live in Seattle, which is a wonderful place to live. They all love it, right? And then when it comes down to Seattle itself, Seattle is actually the number one population growth. So within city of Seattle, we have 2.5 to 3% annual increase for people who want to live here. At the same time, the challenging part is that when you're reading the statistics on U.S. home builders, as a country, we are lacking $2.5 million housing. So in Seattle, city of Seattle itself has a projected rate of 3,500 housing a year. Now, 3,500 housing, and then we have 18 to 20,000 people moving into Seattle.
Yeah.
Supply and demand. We go back to the same
And
thing.
it's worth noting the people that are moving to Seattle.
Yeah.
GeekWire just had an article last week or maybe the week before. Seattle is the #1 destination for STEM jobs. Science, technology, engineering, and math. Very
Right.
high-paying jobs for the record.
Which takes us to the next slide.
So yeah,
Right.
but 36,000 STEM jobs in the last 2 years moved to Seattle. San Francisco was second with 24. So we were 50% higher
Right.
than
And like-
second place
and-
for high-paying jobs.
Right. And end of last year, people had a little bit of challenge about what's going on with Amazon. Today I Googled, Amazon has 8,830 openings in Seattle. So if you like to just Google like Amazon Seattle jobs, opening 8,830 jobs in Seattle that needs to be filled. So
Well, if
let's
you-
don't even mention everybody else who hired
Yeah,
like crazy.
I'll add on to
right?
that. If you take the top 10 biggest
Oh.
tech employers in Seattle,
We are number 4 in the nation.
yeah, if you take the top 10 tech employers including over in Bellevue with
Yeah.
Expedia and
Right.
Microsoft right now, we're at about 14,000 full-time job openings
Yeah.
just in those employers. So there's
Exactly.
those are openings right now.
Right.
Like
So-
they are hiring. People are moving here.
Yeah, people moving here, they're hiring. Okay, but do we have
Yeah,
another
just-
slide? Okay.
There you go.
Right. So this is not complicated, people. So we have more people born, more people want to live here. We have jobs, we have financial stability. Most of these people have really, really good paying jobs, and if they don't like their job, I've got to get headhunted out anyway. So, like, and then we have limited housing, we have decent interest rates, we have lots of options to choose from. What other data do you need to make a decision, really? Like, that's why we are here for. Reach out to us because we are also happy to help you manage your emotional part of the decision. Real estate, by far, is the largest emotional and financial investment combined for most people's lives. And that's why you need a little bit of support because so many people making emotional decisions, but emotions can be really managed with correct data. We're all about data. Kyle and I eat data all
Love
day
data.
long. All day long. We love
Very-
that
very
thing.
nerdy.
Because emotions come and go. I love you. I hate you. Okay? Like, so why don't we focus on something that is firm, and that is data. So turn to us for data, and we're going to be more than happy to educate you so you make the best financial decision for yourself. But since you could remember the stats, the rates are going, the home prices are going up essentially. What are you waiting for?
Yep. Good time to buy. Economic fundamentals are sound for Seattle.
Yeah.
Give us a call. Shoot us an email if you have any questions. We'd love to help in any way we can.
We're here to support you. Thank you for your time.
Yeah. Thank you.